In general, a microenterprise is considered a small business employing 10 people or less, and have a capital asset of less than php 3 million. Internationally, most microenterprises are family businesses employing 1 or 2 persons. These microentrepreneurs operate microenterprises by choice. Most microenterprise owners are primarily interested in earning a living to support themselves and their families. They only grow the business when something in their lives changes and they need to generate a larger income. According to information found on the census.gov website, microenterprises make up 95% of the 28 million U.S. companies tracked by the census. Microenterprise is a common aspect in business communities everywhere. The terms microenterprise and microbusiness have the same meaning, though traditionally when referring to a small business financed by microcredit the term microenterprise is used. Similarly, when referring to a small, usually legal business that is not financed by microcredit, the term microbusiness is used. History of the concept. The concept of microenterprise and microfinance was pioneered in 1976 by Nobel Prize recipient Muhammad Yunus, founder of the Grameen Bank, in Bangladesh. The bank was established for the purpose of making small loans to the poor, predominantly women, to help them obtain economic self-sufficiency. The fundamental principle behind the Grameen Bank is that credit is a human right. This strategy was highly effective as the bank grew exponentially. From fewer than 15,000 borrowers in 1980, Grameen Bank had 2.34 million members by 1998, 7.67 million at the end of 2008, 97% of whom are women, and 9.4 million today. Global definitions. The term microenterprise refers to different entities and sectors depending on the country. In Australia, it refers to a business with a single owner-operator, having up to 20 employees. The European Union (EU) defines microenterprises as those that meet 2 of the following 3 criteria and do not fail to do so for at least 10 years, fewer than 10 employees, balance sheet total below €2 million, turnover below €2 million. In the United States, a different model is used, but the stated goals and core values are similar. Here, a microenterprise is defined as a business with 5 or fewer employees. Many of these businesses have no employees other than the self-employed owners. Additionally, such microenterprises generally need less than $35,000 in loan capital and do not have access to the conventional commercial banking sector. The basis of microenterprise in the U.S. is entrepreneurship, recognizing a fundamental right of people to apply their individual talents, creativity and hard work to better their lives. Microenterprise programs, therefore, are built around the philosophy that the unique ideas and skills of entrepreneurs and would-be entrepreneurs should be provided business assistance and small amounts of credit to support the development or start-up of a small business, primarily through the U.S. Small Business Administration. Most organizations in the field also focus their services on those microentrepreneurs who, as defined by federal government standards, are low to moderate income. By definition, most of these entrepreneurs are minorities, recent immigrants, women, disabled or for other reasons have special challenges that reduce their ability to access traditional credit and other services. Contributions to the larger economy. Microenterprises are said to add value to a country's economy by creating jobs, enhancing income, strengthening purchasing power, lowering costs and adding business convenience. Financing. Because microenterprises typically have little to no access to the commercial banking sector, they often rely on microloans, or microcredit in order to be financed. Microfinance institutions often finance these small loans, particularly in the Third World. Those who start up microenterprises are usually referred to as entrepreneurs. Microloans are a way for organizations and entrepreneurs to make small loans to those in poverty, often in Third World countries. The term microloans is more commonly referred to as microcredit. Government programs. Government support for microenterprises varies from country to country. Plan for Achieving Self-Support is a program offered by the United States Social Security Administration to encourage persons that are supplemental security income eligible who are disabled to set aside monies for various reasons, training, schooling and funding microenterprises a work goal. The NEIS is a government program in Australia, which assists unemployed people to start their own businesses. Although it is not specifically for micro-businesses, many if not most businesses started in this program are micro-businesses. Recent development in the United States, the microenterprise field has a 20-year history in the United States. While the term a microenterprise was in common use internationally by the late 1970s, it came into domestic use within the United States about a decade later. Traditionally, the business sector had been categorized into three groups: large, medium, and small. The U.S. Small Business Administration defines a small business as having up to 500 employees. In 1991, the SBA recognized microenterprise as a separate or distinct category of business. Microloans may be used for general business expenses, such as working capital and tangible assets, such as inventory, furniture, and equipment. They cannot be used to pay the microbusiness owner, to purchase real estate, pay existing debt, or for non-qualifying not-for-profit entities. During the 1990s, the microenterprise field grew rapidly in the United States. Starting with a small number of non-profit organizations testing developing country models, the field now has service providers in every state, a national trade association, a growing number of state-level associations and financing intermediaries, and several research and policy organizations. The Aspen Institute and Field has collected data on the organizations in the field since 1992. The first directory, in 1992, listed 108 organizations that identified themselves as working in the field. By 2010 this number had grown to over 800 organizations that provide direct services to entrepreneurs, either microfinancing or business development services. Community development financial institutions, particularly community development loan funds, frequently offer loan capital for microenterprises in the United States. Anthony Hilb, author of Make Money with a Microbusiness and founder of microbusinessowners.com, states, "Microbusinesses have existed since people first exchanged goods and services in their communities. Today, microbusinesses can have a much larger impact. Products and services can be exchanged at previously unimagined volumes, distances, and speeds. Credit here is due to advancements in technology. With the Internet, apps, and other technologies available, microbusinesses will continue to explode in popularity." In developing countries, microenterprises constitute the vast majority of the small business sector, a result of the relative lack of formal sector jobs available for the poor. Microenterprises in developing countries, then, tend to be the most frequent form size of business. As explained by Anil Kanani, most microcredit clients are not microentrepreneurs by choice. They would gladly take a factory job at reasonable wages if it were available. We should not romanticize the idea of the poor as entrepreneurs. The International Labour Organization uses a more appropriate term for these people, own account workers. Paper to Pearls is another example of a microenterprise program, which is based in the United States, but works with women in northern Uganda. The International Fund for Agricultural Development Vietnam Country Program supports operations in 11 poor provinces. Between 2002 and 2010 around 1,000 saving and credit groups were formed, with over 17,000 members. These SCGs increased their access to microcredit for taking up small-scale farm activities. In Poland, in 2012, there were 1.7 million microenterprises, employing 3.5 million persons. Women in the Dominican Republic. In the Dominican Republic, a nationwide survey conducted in 1992 revealed that 330,000 micro and small enterprises created employment for 26% of the economically active population. Furthermore, a significant portion of this is represented by women. It is argued that the households of women are targeted more directly by microenterprise support services because women tend to devote more of their income to their households than do men. Therefore, It is recommended that microenterprise training programs be less gender neutral and should be diversified to address the central challenges of women's businesses. References: census.gov, http, www.grameen-foundation.org. Numbers, Official Journal of the EU, Recommendation by the European Commission 2003 EC dating from 06/05/03, Annex Article 2 http, Lex Europa EU Lex Uri Servdu? Uri equals OJ, L 2003 124 00360041 ENPDF, Munoz, J.M. 2010 Contemporary Microenterprise, Concepts and Cases. Cheltenham, Edward Elgar Publishing http, www.e-elga.com/ Book entry _main.lasu?ID = 13820, Welcome to MicroTracker. MicroTracker. Retrieved January 10, 2013. Microfinance misses its mark, Stanford Social Innovation Review. RIDP, PCR and Validation, 2010. D. Walcock, G. Voss, New Possibilities of Supporting Polish SMEs Within the Jeremy Initiative managed by BGK, Mediterranean Journal of Social Sciences, Vol. 4, No. 9, pages 760-761. Cabal, Miguel. 1992. Microempresas y pequeñas empresas en la República Dominicana, resultados de una encuesta nacional. Santo Domingo, Fondo Micro. Cabal, Miguel. 1992. Microempresas y pequeñas empresas en la República Dominicana, resultados de una encuesta nacional. Santo Domingo, Fondo Micro. Grasmark, Sherry, and Rosario Espinal 2000. Market Success or Female Autonomy? Income, Ideology, and Empowerment Among Microentrepreneurs in the Dominican Republic. Gender and Society 14 231-255. Grasmark, Sherry, and Rosario Espinal 2000. Market Success or Female Autonomy? Income, Ideology, and Empowerment Among Microentrepreneurs in the Dominican Republic. Gender and Society, 14, 231-255. External links, Grameen Foundation, PASSplan.org, SCI.gov, Entrepreneur.com, Score.org, Smallbusinessadministration.gov, Association for Enterprise Opportunity, Microenterprise Acceleration Program, 5 Talents Microenterprise Development Library, Shared Lives Plus and Microenterprise, Community Catalysts CIC, Fiverr Hive Official Website, USAID Microenterprise Results Reporting Portal.